Good morning. Welcome. My name is Mariah Brown. Jen Stifler and I are so thrilled to have pulled together a power-packed group of amazing people today. So let's get started. This is an exciting time to share these stories together. People around the globe are starving for more health, more belonging, more community, more fulfillment, more financial freedom. So on this call, you will have the opportunity to hear from professionals with varying backgrounds, from healthcare providers to entrepreneurs and beyond. We will have moms and dads and different generations and different backgrounds and lots of different geographies. So please stay tuned for this entire call. We'll have a special opportunity for those that take advantage of it at the very end. We are all part of the Healthy Living Revolution, which is a mission spanning the globe by giving people who want to inspire healthy living around the world and help as many people as possible realize their dreams. We all found unmet needs in our professions and chose to broaden our possibilities through an amazing virtual franchise. The Healthy Living Revolution starts with good nutrition, empowerment of our food chain, and also includes community support, free resources, personal fulfillment, and income generation through virtual means that is residual and stable and lasting. So everyone you're going to hear on this call is volunteering their time because they own their own virtual franchise while also living full, productive lives. They want the same for those who are searching and open, and they are paid well to do a lot of good, while also being given the opportunity to live lives of passion, purpose, and possibility. So as you listen to our stories of professional choices, perhaps you'll think of someone in your life who may need to hear what's possible and open up to other means of fulfilling unmet dreams. Or maybe it's your ears that needed to hear what is about to be shared. So I get to start. I'm a mom of 3. Like I said, my name is Mariah Brown. My children are 7 and younger. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a qualified national marketing director, and I'm also a certified nurse midwife. For those of you that don't know what a CNM is, I'm a nurse practitioner that specializes in OBGYN. So I love being a midwife. I worked hard to get my master's degree as an NP at Yale University, and I was mainly trained in a pharmaceutical allopathic approach to healthcare. And although it has its place, I much prefer empowering people with nutrition and lifestyle change along their journey of health. So rather than sick care, how about preventive empowerment? So it was an easy addition for me to join the Healthy Living Revolution. I believe everyone deserves access to convenient and affordable produce. I also believe everyone deserves a financial plan B for the unexpected twists and turns of life. I don't love 24-hour call shifts, being away from my children for long hours of time, and working long, hard hours to build someone else's business. I've been embraced by the Healthy Living Revolution community for 13 years now, and along the journey, I've made lasting friendships while also creating substantial income for my family while working from home, or wherever I have my phone, to be honest with you. I still impact health outcomes every day, from the foundation of a wide variety of quality plants, lifting others up to become their best versions of themselves. And it's from where I want, with whom I want, and when I want. I've been present for the first steps of all of my children. It actually makes me emotional to say that out loud. I've held them on their feeling not so good days, and I was there for broken bones and bloody noses. Yes, I love working as a CNM, and I always will, but the freedom provided through this franchise opportunity has offered possibilities of quality time with my loved ones that last way beyond what working as a provider could ever have offered me. To be honest, being a mom is probably the most important role that I play, and I'm so grateful to have been able to be present with my children. And I don't know about you, but I starve for intellectual stimulation. I like working. I like having a goal to go towards. So being able to be a mom while also owning my own time and having a virtual franchise to do has been such a blessing for me for this time. So I call it a personal development program cleverly disguised as a franchise. I love the possibilities that are endless as a mom, a wife, and a midwife. So next, I get to introduce Miss Denise. She is a retired restaurant owner. So Denise, please unmute yourself and take it away.
Thank you, Mariah. Hi, everybody. My name is Denise Taylor, and I am so grateful to get to share my story with you today. It was a gift that somebody who cared about me cared enough to share with me, and they shared again and again until the time was really right for me to hear it. I was in the restaurant business for 32 years, and I owned my own restaurant for the last 13. 3 years ago, I told my husband that I really only had about 2 years left in me for our business. We worked all the time. We could never say yes to the things that were most important to us, like family. And the biggest heartbreak for me was that I could never make promises to my daughter. I couldn't promise to make her dance performances, to have dinner together. And I didn't have the bandwidth to even be present for a conversation in the car after school. I really thought that owning my own business would give us the time freedom and also make a good living for us. And the reality is it was really quite the opposite. I was mired in work and debt. The load of the work, it really caused me to become very seriously ill. I had adrenal fatigue, chronic pain in my hands and feet, and I was just really physically and emotionally exhausted all the time. I really was attracted to this business because I had started and run several businesses, and I know how much work it takes to self-motivate yourself every single day to build something from scratch. I really, really loved the idea of having an amazing community of people that I could work alongside with to grow something for myself while also helping others. And along with that, I get this company that does all of the internal workings of running a business, and I'm taken care of by a company that's bigger than just me. And it's a lot to do on your own to build something by yourself. All of the things I was looking for, I found when I locked arms with this company. I got my health back by the simple addition of flooding my body with ripe harvested fruits and veggies. I'm surrounded by the most inspiring people. I mean, like, look at the people on this call, and they all rise up with me, which is such an amazing thing to have with the people that you get to lock arms with. I was able to start building a business alongside my restaurant, and that gave me the financial footing to be able to retire from our business and have money in place to pay for our living expenses when we retired. I get to build my business on my time, and I have the confidence of a 50-year-old company behind me, supporting, encouraging, and incentivizing me to be the best that I can be and build my dreams. I look back now on the skepticism that I had when I first looked at this business, and I am so grateful that I stayed open to learning what I didn't know yet or understand. And I would have missed out on the greatest opportunity, but instead I stayed open and I said yes. And I look forward to all of the opportunity that lays before me and the lives that I get to ignite with health, hope, and prosperity along the way.
Denise, thank you so much for sharing. Now we have Dr. Paul Stricker. He is a pediatric sports medicine doc and one of, I think, only 200 in the country. He comes to us from the San Diego area. So Dr. Paul Stricker, please share.
Hello, I'm Dr. Paul Stricker, and as a pediatric sports medicine physician and former Olympic team physician, I'd been exposed to tons of vitamins and supplements. So when I was introduced to food technology and whole food powders that had more true scientific research than the drugs I write prescriptions for, I actually was hooked. It made so much sense to me because I'd been using a multivitamin to substitute my poor eating habits, and I needed a better way to fuel my health rather than just feed my appetite. So I love that my recovery is almost as good as it was in college, and my energy levels and health are sustained throughout my insanely busy work and speaking schedule. This Freedom Revolution virtual franchise produces a financial reward of a paycheck that goes up every time a person's life is helped, which is not like my medical clinic. I can only see a maximum number of patients, so income from my clinic should be relatively static. But in fact, because of insurances and changes in medicine reimbursements, I still see the same number of patients each year, yet I make only 50% of what I made 5 years ago. So thank goodness I have this residual income to more than make up that difference. So I only have to see patients 3 days a week and can still have a life to enjoy traveling and pursuing other options in my life that I never really thought I'd ever have the opportunity to pursue. So joining this positive, healthy living revolution was a no-brainer because we actually get to use amazing plant-based products as tools to cause bigger goals. We give kids and families a better future. We make a difference in people's lives, and we help families create health legacy. So touching future generations is a gift that will outlive us all and is quite priceless. I love that my team of friends can help impact health without actually having to have a medical degree. And we are producing valuable residual income while helping more people together than I could ever help in my clinic by myself. So thank you so much. And I get to introduce Beverly, who's a counselor.
Hey guys, and thank you guys so much. So all the way from Belize, I'm chiming in, and thank you, Mariah and Jen, for just, including me in this amazing community of people. But my journey actually started 14 years ago, and I was actually in the military, the Army, jumping out of perfectly good airplanes, running 4 or 5 miles a day, thought I was bionic when my hero, and it was an autoimmune disease that what I thought prematurely ended my career. God had other plans. I had some amazing neighbors who introduced me to plant-based eating and an amazing community of people that loved on me, educated me, empowered me. And then I decided to go into professional counseling to go a little deeper and dive in to see how I could even help more people, right? And what I found out was it doesn't matter how much psychotherapy we do, without your health, the health outcomes are not going to be as good as they can be. And that just really spiked my interest. My husband was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease back then also, and we really didn't know any better. But I will tell you that being in control of our health today and really feeling in control without medications and learning so much about this company, this community of people, and residual income. So that was a big thing, especially for my husband, Johnny. Gonna say hi? So he said no, but I don't have to take from our income because of the business that I aligned with and the opportunity to make that residual income. So that's helping fuel my dream for this corporate wellness that I am doing now on a whole different level. But I will tell you that if you are looking at this amazing video, this Zoom call, and wondering what this is all about, I would say definitely plug in, get with the person who invited you, and absolutely understand that when you educate and empower yourself to take control of your health, it doesn't matter how much money you make or have. It doesn't matter how much makeup. It doesn't matter how much you work out. If you don't have your health, what good is it? And then being in a community of people that absolutely hold you accountable and are locking arms to inspire healthy living around the world. Honestly, y'all, that is just a priceless thing. My husband, he's in control of his health. We are able to honestly work this business from wherever we want to work this business and have the time freedom that we would not be allowed if I didn't have that extra income coming in, right? So I just thank you guys for this amazing opportunity. And Mariah, Jen, I am passing this on to Ariel.
Yeah, thank you so much, Beverly. So yes, Ariel Shipe is next. She is a social media influencer. So Ariel, please hop on.
Yeah, it still feels very strange to call myself that, but when I sign contracts, that is the title that I signed my name under, so we'll roll with that. I have about 137,000 followers on Instagram, and I have been a part of this community for about 2.5 years. So when this community and this, whole opportunity first came to me, I actually first joined for my own health. I was struggling with a ton of inflammation and actually some autoimmune condition stuff myself. But I quickly realized that this opportunity could give me some of the freedom that I was really, really hoping to create. So when I had started this, my social media was starting to grow, and a lot of people were wondering like how I was able to do all these amazing things that I was doing. But it was kind of the illusion of social media. I was teaching yoga super, super, super full time, which meant that I didn't actually have a lot of time freedom to get out. I happened to live in a really beautiful part of the country, so I could take some amazing photos, but I didn't actually have the freedom to go out and travel, and I didn't really have the financial means as well, because being a yoga teacher is not exactly the most lucrative career choice one could have chosen. So when I learned about the business side of things, I jumped in head first, and I learned a lot along the way. And along the way, I got the opportunity to help a lot of people. And it was really, really fulfilling. And through that fulfillment, I was also able to give myself the freedom that I wanted and I desired to create this time for travel, to create the financial means to travel and really say yes when I wanted to say yes. And this spring, a very unexpected thing happened. I hit 100,000 followers on social media, and all of a sudden, social media was bringing me opportunities that it hadn't before. Companies started wanting to do collaborations with me and pay me for them. They wanted to fly me to different parts of the country, and externally, you're like, you know, I was living the millennial dream. But there were a couple of pieces of that story that you couldn't see from online that have brought me back to working this business with the same passion I had when I first started. And the first and most important thing to me is this community. This community is unrivaled. Really, this is a community of people who've pushed me to be the best version of myself, who constantly make me feel fulfilled and supported. And when I was out on the road all the time, I was honestly quite lonely. And, you know, don't get me wrong, it was really cool opportunities, but I have a family back home that I love to be near. And I didn't have as much time to be with this community. And so that's a big piece of the puzzle for me, to be surrounded by people who make me feel full and alive. And the second piece of the puzzle is I really acknowledge that we live in a fast time and that the internet is always moving and changing. And it's really nice to be relevant online right now. I'm grateful for that. It's a really cool thing. But I also acknowledge that things change quickly, and who knows, maybe 2, 5, 10 years from now, Instagram might not be the cool thing that it is today. And so for me, it's really, really, really important to build something that's not only stable, but lasting, something that I can rely on in 2, 5, 10, 25, 50 years from now, so that I can continue to live this life of freedom. Because once you have a taste of it, you know, it's hard to let it go. So thank you so much for letting me share my story and be a part of this. Yeah.
Oh, Ariel, we love you. Kelly is next. She is a dyslexia specialist. Make sure you unmute yourself, Kelly. There she is. She's working it out. I see you trying. Let me see if I can. There you go. Ta-da!
Obviously, I don't have over 100,000 followers. I am not good with this techie stuff. And I am a dyslexia specialist in the Richmond, Virginia area. I had left the classroom about 10 years ago to start tutoring kids with dyslexia and screening kids for dyslexia. I saw a need in our schools in the area of dyslexia that was not being met. And 2 of my children are dyslexic, so it's something that hits very close to home for me. So it has been very successful. My roster stays full. I'm turning families away every week. It breaks my heart, but there's only so many hours in the day. And so I was not looking for a new business. It was the last thing I needed to add to my plate. But when I was introduced to this new Healthy Living Revolutions products, I immediately saw an opportunity, because you cannot ignore the role that quality nutrition plays when you are trying to blaze new neurological pathways in a child's brain, which is essentially what my educational therapy does. So this gave me a new tool in my toolbox to reach more families and help families and to make my practice even more effective. But what happened was, as my paycheck continued or started to grow, as I reached past my clientele and started reaching out to friends and family, as I saw the effects on my clients and the effects on my own family and the effects on myself, I started reaching out to more. And as my paycheck began to grow, I started realizing, wow, I now have permission to dream even bigger, possibly opening up a dyslexia center one day where I could train others to do what I do. And we could impact more kids per hour than I can alone. And so that's something that this has done. It's given me permission to dream. It's given me permission, adding this added layer to my business has given me permission to also visualize a retirement very different from what I had visualized before. Right now, not right now, in the past, just doing my dyslexia tutoring and screening, I'm trading time for money. When I'm not working with a client, I'm not earning any income. So with the residual income this mission has brought into my life, that's no longer true. So it's very exciting. My business is called New Hope Reading Solutions, and that is exactly what this mission has done. It has given me new hope for an even more exciting future.
Oh, thank you so much. So next I get to introduce Jen Stifler, and I mentioned her name at the beginning. This call was initially her idea, and so I'm really excited to introduce her. She is a retired pharmaceutical rep, and she's a mother, and she gets to take this call on. So Jen, I'm handing it over to you.
Great. Thanks, Mariah. Oh my gosh, I love all these stories shared so far, you guys. Thank you so much. And this is definitely a labor of love in the best sort of way that Mariah and I equally came up with. We are inspired by each other. So thank you for spearheading this and everybody who said yes to sharing. So my story and my journey began in a huge health crisis. Honestly, this opportunity delivered me from a place of fear to total freedom. From the outside looking in for a really long time, nobody knew that I was feeling trapped and weary in a pharmaceutical career that I once loved, but with the birth of every child, and two, to be born with undiagnosed congenital heart defects, more than my six-figure income, my large bonuses, my free car. I just wanted time with my kids. I wanted to be the one that was there to see all their firsts and to make memories while they were little. And that time was so precious and fleeting. And I had these golden handcuffs. I was a slave to quotas and performance reviews and titles. And I literally was an ant marching on a wheel that someone else was in control of. And I remember thinking, is this it? At 37, is this what I was meant to do for the next 30 years of my life? I felt that I would never be able to break free, and I would forever be sacrificing time for money, until a friend shared with me what this opportunity could be. And now I'm living a life of complete freedom. I'm actually in Charleston, South Carolina on the water in my sister's beautiful home for the next 10 days because I can. And I get to earn uncapped income when I want, from where I want, and with who I want. And our family is designing a future that prioritizes our hopes and dreams and not an employer's. And we've been able to move into our dream home already on 6 acres in the country. I decided to homeschool. And the next big goal is to retire my husband in 5 years, which is totally possible. And we just want to be fully present for our kids. We want to travel and create life moments that we know is going to become the foundation of learning and character for our children's future selves. And my hope is that my kids will see the choices in the life that they've been able to live and never settle for average or mediocre. And that they will have the courage to pursue their calling and to go make a life, not just a living. This mission gave me my joy back, and I am living with my eyes and my heart wide open, and I am ready to serve every single day, bigger and bigger. It's so much fun. So it is my extreme pleasure to introduce Jane Martini, who used to be an educator in the school systems turned corporate America exec, now a stay-at-home mom with 5 amazing children.
Thanks, Jen. Hi, my name is Jane Martini, a town called Cherry Hill, New Jersey. So prior to starting my family, my career focused on helping others thrive. First as the activities director for a high school, then onto the international level as the director of family programming for a leadership organization. I love my work. It was a beautiful experience that fulfilled every aspect of my heart. And then I had my 4th child, and the ability to continue being an incredible mom and an incredible leader began to take its toll. I was traveling so much. My days were so long. And at the time, I had these 4 beautiful babies that just needed their full mom. And I simply couldn't do it all, right? How can we be perfect at it all? The juggle was getting the best of me, and my heart was beyond torn, but something had to change. So we decided I would stay home. Motherhood is just an extraordinary gift, isn't it? And there's just no better gift, but I needed something more. So then I had my 5th baby, and I completely lost myself in motherhood. And I became a shell of the vibrant person I used to be. I needed more. I needed to find myself. I needed to find a space to help others thrive beyond my driveway. So I considered going to nursing school so I could work 2 to 3 days a week, work around their schedules, but I had no clue how to find the time or the desire to miss the moments of my growing children. So then a dear friend shared with me a way I could have an impact on my community, really the most rewarding impact. Be present for my family while helping all these mamas thrive. Immediately I fell in love with this mission and I found my passion again. I found me again. That feeling of creating something bigger than me and beyond my driveway. So I'm committed to helping every mom who wants more to take back their life, to have this ability to create something of their own that they are proud about, that is outside of raising their kids or being an amazing wife. I want them to find themselves and to fall in love with a life where they can have it all.
Oh, thank you, Jane. Amazing. And her kids are beautiful. Michael, you are next. Michael is a physical therapist. He's a personal trainer and a world champion Ironman finisher. Amazing.
Awesome. Thank you, Jen. Really appreciate it. So my story is quite simple and yet profound to me. As a child, I'd always been fascinated with the human body and how it worked. And I truly enjoyed helping others, being of service to others. And, you know, I trusted my mother when she said to go pursue a course in physical therapy. And that continues to inspire me to help people move through their health challenges and obstacles. And as a physical therapist and an athlete, I knew the value of proper training and proper body movement in order to achieve results, but I was missing a super important piece regarding proper nutrition. And it wasn't until this journey that I was able to transform not only how I existed with regards to health, but also how I impacted my patients and my clients. It opened my mind to not just fueling for recovery or rehab, but more specifically fueling for basic human performance. And what I love about this, the simplicity of this nutritional program, is this program that I used for my athletic career to enhance my athletic performance is the same nutritional program that my wife used during pregnancy and breastfeeding, and is the same nutritional program that we use to raise healthy and incredible kiddos. Regarding, you know, my physical therapy career, I'd been raised that if I followed the path of education, the doors of dreams would be opened. But the reality is, I quickly learned otherwise when I almost got knocked out by bumping my head against the ceiling of my physical therapy salary. I had dreams, I had aspirations for my family of 5, and to prioritize the opportunities for my family meant taking time away from my family for more work hours. So I was trading dollars for hours. And what I really wanted is to be more present for my family and to give them much more. 13 years ago, when I was introduced to this plant powder nutrition and this incredible business opportunity, it ignited a flame of inspiration to create a secondary income stream to support my physical therapy income. And it was an incredible journey. However, 10 months ago, when my physical therapy job was unexpectedly eliminated, this franchise covered our mortgage. This franchise covered our bills. And I'm so grateful that we got in line and we stayed in line and we were able to cover our basic bills. But here's the piece that's even more powerful for me is when my physical therapy job was eliminated, I felt a part of who I am was eliminated. But it was this community who believed in me more than I believed in myself at that time, lifted me up and out of a dark place. So now I'm forever grateful for this community who believe in me, and I'm able to give back to others and believe in them in the same way that they believe in me. I'm currently working my part-time in my physical therapy practice and have a substantial plan B in place to continue to build our dreams. I'm forever grateful. Thank you.
Oh, that's amazing, Michael. Thank you so much for sharing all of that. Kathy, who is a military wife and RN, would you be willing to share, please?
Yes. Hi there. Thank you so much. These stories are blowing me away. Well, when I first joined the mission of Inspiring Healthy Living 7 years ago, I was a stay-at-home mom. I volunteered as a military spouse leader supporting Air Force families. And I had given up my work as an L&D nurse when our first child was born because my husband's career required us to move every 10 to 20 months in the first 12 years of her life. So leaving our children with strangers to start over at a new hospital every time we moved was not something I was willing to do. So I found myself putting my passion in healthcare on the back burner. I'm so grateful that a fellow nursing friend and military spouse opened my eyes to the opportunity of making a residual income while making an impact. I had no idea what a residual income was until she explained it to me and really just talked to me about how much we could really impact healthcare as nurses doing this mission. I got to educate and create community around healthy living. And as a military spouse, that was my jam. I loved creating community. And so to get to do that and earn an income along the way that exceeded my income as a nurse on 3 12-hour night shifts was crazy to me. You know, I got to be present with my kids, to be flexible enough to travel with them for their travel sports and their high school teens. And because I have a network of military spouse friends around the world and there are no territories in this virtual franchise, I get to grow my business all over the United States, and I'm looking forward to growing internationally as well. I love that I get to work from anywhere in the world as long as I have access on my phone to the web. And so, yeah, I just want to share that military spouses are a very talented and educated community. And sometimes we feel like we've lost our identity because we've given up our careers to travel and be in support of our veteran or our military member. And so career portability is a super important thing. And I love this virtual franchise because it offers us an amazing opportunity to grow a very mission-driven business while in the world, anywhere in the world, with an impact that really is priceless.
Oh, thank you, Kathy, so much. And thank you for your service to this country and the sacrifices that you and your family have made for us. We really appreciate it. Next, Sabina, an international, and I think she'll tell it herself in the best words, for entrepreneur.
Thank you. Yes. My name is Sabina King, and I am a serial entrepreneur and digital nomad. So what that means is that I love creating businesses, and I do it while traveling around the world with my young family. My companies are all very different, but they have the common theme of freedom. And for the past 10 years, my family has been living what is a dream life, according to many. We've created a huge amount of choice in our lives, making decisions that increase our freedom of time, money, location, and community. And we've gallivanted across this globe and have foreign bases that we live in. It truly is remarkable and so educating. I meet some of the most wonderful people while traveling. They are excited, they're doing what they want, they're zest-filled. And recently, I moved back to the US, something that I thought I would never do, so that my children could attend a little Waldorf school, and it's darling. But what I found is I found myself yearning for that community of like fun, vibrant people that I met traveling abroad. And to me, many people here seemed to be sleeping. They were reclusive. They were living these busy lives, but not enjoying them whatsoever. Until I met this community, and they were alive, and they had a sparkle in their eye, and they were hungry for self-growth and self-awareness. And so I started hanging out at events totally as a groupie. I even went to their conference in Austin as a groupie. And one thing that I know for sure was that I did not need another business. I have 4 thriving businesses that are online that allow me to live this laptop lifestyle. However, I signed up, and I absolutely adore this community. Throughout my travels, the number one question I get asked is, how do you do it? And here's why I joined. I've helped friends start over 150 businesses. And as we've heard, starting a business from scratch is intensive. There's time, there's money, there's resources and knowledge that you need to have. But I'm also a firm believer that we are each other's inspiration, and that when we help one, we raise up all. And so I do love to help. And now I'm able to offer this very simple business structure very inexpensively. The systems are created. The marketing and the branding is brilliant, and it's done. So they can work the system and it'll work for them. So I love being able to rise up even more people at such a low threshold of investment. It is an amazing opportunity for so many to create a little more or a lot more freedom in their lives. And ultimately, it's their choice.
Thank you. I love that. Yes, I think we all experience this beautiful ripple effect because we do help. The way that we, rise to the top of our own businesses by helping other people achieve their goals, which is such a beautiful thing that's so different in our community than any other. So you guys, these stories are amazing. They're real. And the community that you've just seen, it's filled with millions of people who have stories just like it. Incredible ones all around the world, all from different walks of life, education levels, genders, races, ethnicities. And we all are united by one common thing. We had a burning desire for more. We wanted to change our stories. We wanted to have an impact without sacrificing time. We wanted to leave a legacy. So what do you want more of? What is it that you could maybe leave behind or desire more of? What are you fearing? What's holding you back? You're worth asking yourself the question, because this business delivers dreams every single day, and it can do the same for you. So what do you want? When do you want it? And what are you willing to do to get there? We are so grateful to ask you to join us on this Healthy Living Revolution community to create a freedom lifestyle for yourself. There are events all over the country. Get back with the person who invited you, and they would love to bring you to see us in person to get a sense for this community in real life. You deserve it. But thank you for taking the time to check us out and allowing each of us the space to share our stories. We thank you. Take care.